Do you have these guys in your schools? There's a wonderful book I want to recommend to you. This book is called Shaping School Culture. If you have not read this, I would highly recommend it. Shaping School Culture. The authors are Terrence Deal, D-E-A-L, and Kent Peterson, Shaping School Culture. There's an easy read, but it's got some great stuff in it. And inside this book, he goes over some different characters in our schools. And let me ask you if you have some of these guys in your schools. Number one are the negaholics. These are guys that no matter what you say, they have a reason why that won't work. They go around and they think that it's their God-given privilege and their duty in life to make sure that they find the negative in every situation. Do you have those folks? Anybody? I hope you ain't one. The saboteurs are the ones that if it is not their idea, it must not be any good. So they'll find out your weaknesses. They'll find out the weaknesses of the principal, the weakness of another teacher, and they exploit those weaknesses for their own grandeur and their own good. Another one is the pessimistic storyteller. And that's the person that in any time there's a gathering, this is the one that reminds us about our children. These kids, are you kidding? Give these kids playground equipment? Are you kidding? Remember last time we did that? Remember last time we gave textbooks? Remember last time we let them take their textbooks home? Remember the last time we had a parent conference like that? They're the pessimistic storytellers. The keepers of the nightmares even go beyond the storytellers. They'll tell us they resurrect those old stories. And not only do they resurrect the old story, but just like a nightmare, they twist it and turn it and make it into something more than it ever was. And you're looking at them like, dude, I was there, and I do not remember the boogeyman at all. Wasn't there. And then you've got the prima donnas that waltz in. They've been there at the school for the longest time. They might have the highest degree and the tightest curls or the newest sweater or something. And they figured just because they are breathing the same air that you breathe, that you ought to be doing what they say to do. Then these are, I think, the most cancerous, toxic members of a school, the rumor mongers, the rumoraholics. And these are the folks that hear a little scuttle, and they want to go and share it with you. The rumor mongers are those who are just looking and looking to spread it. The rumoraholics are those listening, because they want to hear the latest rumor. One thing that feeds a rumoraholic and a rumor monger is if we have a culture of rumors and a culture of that kind of negativity, then the rumor monger, these other people who are not quite rumor mongers yet, they want to make sure that they're in your circle because they don't want to have a rumor about them. So they'll take your rumors and they'll spread it because they know at least it's not a rumor about me. So that's a culture that happens in a school sometimes if we don't have the courage to weed that out or counsel it out, I suppose we could say. The space cadets are those that don't have any idea what's going on at all. I don't want to say they're blonde, but this is my cousin, Jeannie. I don't want to say they're totally blonde because blonde is in all colors. They'll attend the faculty meetings, but as soon as the faculty meeting is over, then they're going to take your time up saying, now what does that mean? What are we supposed to do with that? How do I do my lesson plan? Can I come to your classroom and you can show me how to do my lesson plans? I mean, what do you use? And pretty soon you're giving them everything you've ever done, every copy you've made, and pretty soon you're just like, would you go home? I'll write your lesson plans for you. Just please give me space. I love these martyrs. I love these guys because I love to just look at them and say, well, maybe you just need to get a life. It's the person that says, I was at this school all through fall break. And I cleaned up my room. I wrote all my lesson plans. In fact, I swept the floors. I painted the bathrooms. I did everything. And do you think they even notice anything I ever do? I can't believe it. I'm not going to do anything else then. I'm not going to spend any more time. I'm here till 2 o'clock every morning. I'm looking at them and go, you're here till 2 o'clock? Please get a life. You're not working smart. You don't have to be here that long. And then we have the deadwood, driftwood, and the ballast. The deadwood are those folks that are just kind of hanging out in the trees. There's blossoms around them, but they're just kind of camouflaged in there. They're not really doing anything, but they're up there. Do you know who I'm talking about at all? The driftwood are those folks that they're kind of waterlogged, and they just, sometime in the distant past, they rolled into your school, and they're just kind of laying there. And you know what, with something about driftwood, they've been waterlogged so long, and there's so dirt and sand in them, you can't really start them on fire, can you? If you've been on the beach and tried to light driftwood, it just doesn't really work. And that's the same with these folks. They're just there. They look good sometimes, but it's hard to light them on fire. And the ballast is that heavy weight that's at the bottom of a boat that thinks that their purpose is just to be here to hold everything upright. Well, we got to figure out how do we dig this kind of a culture out of a school?